Donnie fucking Darko. So again, this is a movie that for a very long time I didn't want to watch because to me, it's so much a movie about adolescence. It's so much a movie about being a teenager, right? That I thought like it's like that movie should stay with my adolescence, you know? But when I was doing the Southland Tales video, like I bought the 4K of the Arrow 4K of Donnie Darko, and I watched it again this weekend because I do want to do more with Richard Kelly's universe. And man, this movie it's just timeless. It's just absolutely timeless. It's oh yeah, no, it is heavy. You know, it's heavy because it is a very adolescent movie. And I mean that like in the I'm going to put myself here. Hey, look, got the buddy ears. Sorry. But yeah, Donnie Darko just creeps me out for some reason. we all have we all have those actors, I guess, right? Um, yeah, but Donnie Darko, man, Donnie Darko, I really love the way that it captures what being a teenager feels like, you know. And what I really loved watching it this weekend again for the first time since I was like maybe like 18, um, is that like I was afraid that it wasn't going to hold up, but as an adult, like I actually found so many new layers to it, so many different layers to this movie, and especially as someone. throughout, throughout we were watching Donnie Darko, and Lindsay just kept turning like, "That's you. That's so you." That's exactly she kept saying. That's exactly how you were in high school. And I was like, "Yes. Why do you think I love this movie so much?" But no, yeah, I really love that this movie it does such a great job of like how when you're a teenager, things that you eventually grow to like understand like it's not a big deal. Like everything is just like the most important thing, right? Because it's your first time experiencing it, your first crush, your first party, like your a lot of shit. But the way that yeah, but God, where was I going with that? Yeah, but just it captures that feeling and it presents it so well that as an adult, like I just really like found myself just kind of like a little navel gazy, like God, I remember what that was like, or I remember what this is like. But um, what I loved this time around specifically was just how ambiguous it plays, how you can view the story. And when I was a kid, let's put it this way: when I was a kid, I was very literal. Like I wasn't as film literate as I am today. So I took it very literally as a movie about a kid who was trying to save the world, right? But now as an adult, I see it as a kid who thinks he needs to save the world. It's a kid who thinks he needs to save the world, right? And the way that the whole ending played to me, especially like the final moments of it, really just took on a whole different meaning when you realize that this is just a movie about a fucked up kid. Like Donnie Darko, he's just kind of fucked up, and not in any way that's like super unique or like super destructive. Like he comes from a loving family and all that, but that's the thing about adolescence. You can have the most loving and supportive family around you, and you can know that they love you to bits. But you're a teenager and you're in your feelings and you're feeling this shit for the first time. So you can't help but feel that alienation. And God, what else is there to say? I mean, of course, the music, right? Let's talk about the fucking music. There's another film where of course we have the famous Mad World, and it's funny how time flies, that part, the opening. There's just so many great like needle drops throughout this entire movie. But can we just take a minute to talk about this score? It's so unique, right? Like it's such a uniquely different, like not it's like not orchestral, but you have like a chorus, you have a lot of like operatic singing throughout it because adolescence is operatic. Like it's also dramatic. Being a teenager is very, very high stakes. It's high stakes feelings over small stakes problems, So I really like the way that the operatic nature of the score really just highlights that. But also like it can be that, but then you have Gretchen's theme, the little piano piece. There's just like a lot of moments that are just very nice and pleasant and beautiful. But then you have like these big, dreadful, like doomy chorus sounds and all that. And it's fucking just ear candy, you know. Yeah, and do I prefer the original or extended cut? I actually enjoyed the earlier cut because things weren't specifically spelled out. It was, yes, no, that's exactly it. I mean, you said it for me right there, dude. I actually actively hate the director's cut. You're gonna see this when I do the Donnie Darko and Southland Tales thing video. That's probably gonna come out later this year. But like Donnie Darko and Southland Tales are such like mirror images of each other, which is ironic considering the image I chose here. But like they're like mirror images of each other. Where like Donnie Darko, the director's cut was a fucking mess, and it was way too like exposition heavy, and exactly like it didn't want to let you interpret anything, you know. And that's like Southland Tales theatrical cut. It's like super heavy on exposition to the point that it's obnoxious, and you feel like you never really get to settle into a groove. And then Donnie Darko's theatrical cut is this beautifully like realized film with like really great pacing, that just kind of flows and allows you to go with it. And that's also Southland Tales, the director's cut, you know. Again, like you guys can watch my Southland Tales video for how I feel about that. But you know, it's a shame that Richard Kelly just hasn't done more stuff, because the promise with those two, and I like The Box. I think The Box is a fine movie. It's not as good as his other ones, but you know, like it's a shame that he hasn't made more stuff. And I heard he's working on stuff, so I hope we get to see some of that soon. Because Donnie Darko, man, it's just magic. It's just pure, just the pure encapsulation of adolescence, man. Just crystallized on 35 millimeter film. And luckily, I think the whole world is a better place, especially like kids like me, like outcasts, awkward, like troubled teenagers and stuff like that. Like this movie is forever gonna be all those kids is like, you know, comfort blanket, because that's what it was for me, you know. Like you know, I grew up being one of the very few goth kids in a super racist, super shitty little cowboy kicker town out here in California. It ain't all the beach, y'all. You know. You know, so I mean, as I got older, you know, I got more people became goth and emo, but especially the early years there in my adolescence, like this was the only movie that I felt like represented me and that I took comfort in and stuff like that. So it was, you know, it's always been an important film, and I'm super glad and super stoked to tell you guys, god damn, this movie holds up. It really, really does. I agree. That is my number 6. Just a classic film and the debut of Seth. Yeah, yeah. Don't fucking move. Don't fucking move. That's always been like a little earworm. The way he says that has always cracked me up. So yeah, that's Donnie Darko. Again, a fucking classic movie, but it's a movie that I'm pretty sure we all know about. So I want to go ahead and talk about a movie that I feel a lot of people forgot existed, even though it got nominated for Best Picture in 2013.